Growing the Future, A Child's Promise with the Earth, authored by Stephen Hu. The core narrative logic of this picture book is based on clockwise advancement and encirclement and counter-encirclement, combining STEM education points with visual pressure. The story begins with the protagonist standing in the middle of a clear river and holding a qualified water qualified tester. Then, different bad guys who destroy the environment appear in the first four directions. Just when the protagonist feels a strong sense of oppression and loses hope, different people who protect the environment appear to counter and circle the bad guys who destroy the environment. And they will also make corresponding changes in their behavior. In the final stage of hope, I expand the picture with two harmonious symbionts of the nature and humans, and finally put forward inspiring thinking to stimulate the imagination. Let's follow me to start the adventure journey to depict the future. The protagonist Vivi stands in the middle of a clear river holding a water quality tester. The screen shows pH is equal to 6.5. The sun shines through the leaves and sprinkles on the water. The dragonflies fly low and small fish can be seen in the background. And at 1 o'clock direction, the first bad guy appears. The fat factory owner is dumping black wastewater, saying long live money, so which means that the factory owner does not care about environmental damage for money. At 2 o'clock direction, the second person who destroys the environment appears. A fashionable tourist wearing sunglasses is throwing plastic bottles of milk tea, and there are a lot of plastic garbage in the river. The tourist said, "Who cares about this?" At 3 o'clock direction, the developer in a suit and tie is directing the bulldozer to crush the reeds next to the billboard of luxury river view room, and the bird eggs are broken. The protagonist Vivi's face is a little sadder. The developer is muttering that my profit is more important than the life of animals. So next, at 4 o'clock direction, a fisherman is electrocuting fish below Vivi, and he thinks it's not a big deal. There are many fish that have been electrocuted in the river. And Vivi's face became even sadder, and she started to cry. At this moment, the father of this fisherman, who appeared at the 5 o'clock direction, took away the electric box and scolded his son, who was electrocuting fish. For the first time, the protagonist Vivi saw hope and help from people who wanted to protect the environment. At the same time, the fisherman realized his mistake. At the 6 o'clock position, the environmental protection professor used neutralization equipment to treat the waste liquid and said that it was my responsibility to restore the water quality. And the screen of the protagonist Vivi's pH value tester showed that the pH was equal to 7, and the river became clear, but there's no fish in the river. At the same time, the factory owner realized the harm caused to the environment by the previous arbitrary discharge of the waste gas and chose to take a path of sustainable development. At the 7 o'clock position, the internet celebrities took the lead in live broadcasting, the garbage recycling, and called on people to take action to protect the environment. At the same time, the people who littered in front saw that his favorite internet celebrities were taking the lead in calling for not littering and protecting the environment. And they also consciously put the garbage in the trash can. The protagonist Vivi's face is more joyful, feeling the help of more people, and some fish began to appear in the picture. The next, at 8 o'clock position, little girl is spraying organic pesticides mixed with the garlic and vinegar, and said that protecting the environment is protecting ourselves. So some dragonflies return in the picture, and developer in front is also moved and realizes that the luxury waters and large mountains are invaluable assets. So stop developing the natural environment and choose to coexist peacefully with the natural environment. At the 9 o'clock position, the teacher uses AR glasses to show virtual fish pictures, and students scan the river water to show the pH is equal to 6.8 and keep improving. The projection compares the pollution data 10 years ago. The picture on the left shows that if no one protects the environment, the pH value of the water will continue to remain at a very low level, as shown by the yellow line here. But if many people join the ranks of protecting the environment, the pH value of the river water will return to normal levels, as shown by the blue line. So the protagonist Vivi's face is already full of smiles. And the teacher teaches students to be little guardians of the environmental protection together. So at 10 o'clock position, a worker is installing the solar water purifiers, so expressing that the new energy is a future development direction. And next at 11 o'clock position, the forest ranger is planting trees while calculating in his mind that the carbon sequestration of each tree planted in 10 years can be equivalent to the annual emissions of a car. At the final 12 o'clock position, the Environmental Protection Bureau officers call on everyone to work together to build a beautiful home. There is an earth in the background, which is a common and only home for everyone. The protagonist Vivi cheers in the middle, feeling very happy and relieved. So the following is the last stage of this picture book, which is the Hope Explorers. So the image in the main picture is not only a narrative of a clock, but also has the meaning that the shape is like a sphere, so we're representing our Earth. In the lower half of this picture, there are various natural ecological environments on the Earth, so such as rivers, lakes, seas, forests, swamps, etc. So representing the image of nature. And in the upper part of this picture, there are hundreds of people representing the image of human beings, so surrounding our beloved Earth in the middle. The upper and lower parts are integrated, surrounding the Earth in the middle, reflecting the harmonious coexistence of human and nature. So at the end of this story, the time capsule is used to reflect two projections of the future. One is that everyone works together to protect the environment, so which can lead us to the path of sustainable development in harmony with the nature. And the other is that if no one takes actions to protect the environment, we will go on the path of destroying the environment in the future, which will lead to the inability of human beings to survive. So now the paintbrush that changes the future is in your hands. So what kind of future would you draw? Postscript. When you turn to this page, you have completed a magnificent journey. But the true ending of this story is not in the pages of the book, but in your hands. The factories that dump wastewater into the river, tourists who discard garbage at will, the businessmen who destroy the wetlands for profit, etc. So they may be powerful, but please remember, darkness can never fill all the gaps because there are always more stars than in the night. From being alone to walk with thousands of people, it's not because the bad guys disappeared, but because the good guys lit more lamps. So under each lamp, there may be a silent you standing here. The scientists said that the ecology of the Earth is a precious equation, and every piece of knowledge you have learned in the book, such as the pH value, neutralization reaction, lily bag, the deworming, the solar energy purification, is a key to solving the problem. But more important than the formula are those seemingly small choices. A bottle you picked up may save a fish. A reed you planted may shelter a nest of birds. A waste you refuse secretly rewrites the bill of a factory. So jumping from danger to health is not because heroes come, but because ordinary people do extraordinary things. Environmental protection has never been a miracle of saving the world, but the stubbornness of not giving up the world. If you have to ask what answer this book leaves, it may be there are always more good people than bad people, but sometimes they are too quiet. And what you have to do is to be the first person to applaud. When the applause rings, the kindness hidden in the corner will come like a tide, just like the miracle you witnessed with your own eyes from one person to 1,000 people. Now, close this book. The river outside the window, the trash can on the street corner, and the plastic bags in the supermarket are all waiting for your choice. After all, where you stand is the beginning of the next story. Now it's your turn. Okay, so many educational points and elements are embedded in the overall design of this picture book. So for example, the detector at the beginning is marked pH value 6.5 is a safe range for fresh water, which involves certain chemical knowledge, and the picture of the environmental protection professor using the calcium hydroxide to neutralize the acidic wastewater introduces the chemical knowledge concept of acid-base neutralization. In addition, the picture book also involves ecological agriculture technology and introduces solar energy as a renewable energy source. Later, the readers are exposed to the concept of carbon sequestration of trees and carbon emissions of cars and understand the simple process of carbon cycle. So in summary, the theme of this picture book is to call on everyone to protect the environment. The readers see that the protagonists face oppression caused by many people who destroy the environment in the front, and more people choose to protect the environment, and our home is in the back. So finally, it inspires readers to think and let readers to take up their own pens to write the future chapters. Thank you.